Dear family, it's your cousin P from the B. I pray all is well. How y'all feeling out there, man? This your cousin P. Oh, I should have got my earplugs. I pray that you can hear me. Oh man, just got back to the palace. I'm gonna be here for a second. I wanted to do this podcast. So I pray all is well. Let's get some people in the room. We gonna start this podcast. Why is it easier for a woman to get over a why is it easier for a man to get over a woman emotionally? Uh, Hold on one second. Why is it easier for what is my podcast? Why is it easier for a man to get over a woman emotionally than it is for a woman to get over a man? Podcast 324. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Um, I'm just bringing people in the room at this time. We're going to spend about 30 minutes on this podcast. If you would like to come in on the podcast, you're more than welcome. I just came back from seeing T.I. He put on a great show. I pray all is well out there. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can see all the latest behind the scene footage of all the things I've been doing secretly. You have to become a supporter of Cousin P by way of subscribing to my YouTube channel in order to see what I've been doing. So please um, please find yourself going over to YouTube to subscribe to my channel. Nevertheless, I pray all is well out there. I just got back from seeing T.I. That was a pretty dope show he put on, man. Pretty dope show. Tonight's podcast, why is it easier for a man to get over a woman emotionally opposed to a woman? Why is it easier? We're going to talk about that. How y'all feeling, man? Did y'all go to So Black and So Beautiful and get y'all some so Black and So Beautiful apparel, So Brown and So Beautiful apparel? Go get your apparel, man. I got some big things going on. Cousin P always got some big things going on, man. I'm just grateful, man. Oh, uh, I wasn't able to see the Celtics game. It's just on ESPN right now. Oh, Tatum went out the game. Oh, he came back. He came back. A podcast, yeah. What's up, family? Today's podcast, why is it easier for a man to get over a woman emotionally in a relationship opposed to a woman? She's so mentally invested in the relationship. We're going to start this podcast, and it's very difficult for her, but we're going to start this podcast. This podcast 304. We started in about 3 minutes. Y'all get some people in the room. What you want to do is share my page to your page as I'm speaking, and then share it with all your friends so we could get a big following since this is going to be a great topic. A lot of people have inboxed me, when you gonna do the podcast? Cousin P doing it right now. I'm doing it right now. Cousin P doing it right now. I'm getting ready to go out, man. I'm going out in about 30 minutes, so I'm gonna knock this podcast out. Then I'm on my way out, man. I'm finna go enjoy myself with the family members, man. It was several birthdays today. Shout out to my cousin Melvin Landry. Shout out to Miss Custer. And there was one more birthday today. Miss Custer, Melvin. It was one more birthday. But the birthday party started at 9, so I'm gonna get there about 11:30. You know what I'm saying? Hang out with the family members. Tonight's podcast. Why is it easier for a man to get over a woman emotionally opposed to a woman getting over a man? Why is it that? I'm going to speak some straight wisdom to you. My conversation is to give you information that'll better assist you in these types of situations. I'm pro man, but I'm also proactive in terms of teaching my people or giving my people wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that they may gain some of what I have to say. Apply it, understand it first, apply it, then your relationship could be a little better than what it is. Now, we got one more minute. We're going to start this podcast. Why is it easier for a man to get over a woman emotionally opposed to a woman getting over a man? Let's start. It's your cousin P. How y'all feeling out there, dear family? I pray all is well in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of Day of Judgment. The alone do we serve and the alone we seek help. I thank Almighty God Allah for Jesus and the gospel, Moses and the Torah, Muhammad for the Holy Quran. Peace and blessings be upon these giants that came before us, yet to guide all of us on the right path. And their righteous and holy names, I greet you all, dear family, in divine greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum. The original language that Jesus spoke was Arabic and Hebrew. He knew nothing about America's, because remember, America wasn't a language, and America only been here for 261 years. So if we're talking in Jesus' language, it was Arabic. He would have said Assalamu alaikum. If he said peace be unto you, or he spoke Hebrew, he would have said Salam alaikum. Okay, podcast title 304, title, Why is it easier for a man to get over a woman emotionally opposed to a woman getting over a man? Women are invested emotionally in situations, very emotionally in situations. Men are invested logically in situations. I'm going to say that again, dear family. Women invest in situations from an emotional point of view, while men invest in a situation from a logic point of view, meaning that it has to make sense, meaning that the man watches the conduct, the man watches your character, the man watches how you handle business, man watches how you handle very uncomfortable situations. And that determines for the man whether or not he should invest in you emotionally. Women tend to invest in a man from a feel-good point of view. He made me feel like this. He made me feel like this. Not understanding what produces a strong foundation. Emotions don't produce a strong foundation. When you're courting somebody, when you're investing in something, what you have to generally do is test the relationship. What you have to do is not only test the relationship, but also strike that. Let me say this, dear family. When men involve themselves in relationships, they watch the conduct, your character. Not only do they do that, they see what your spiritual foundation is, your moral foundation is, your principle foundation is. They watch it all. So before they begin to invest emotionally, they have to identify what they're dealing with. On the other hand, when it pertains to a woman, the woman likes a feel-good sensation. A woman like her ego stroked in terms of flowers, things that make you feel good. Flowers don't produce a foundation. Going out and having dinner, it make you feel good. Dinner don't produce a foundation. Sex, it feels good. Spiritually connecting, and when you're having sex, you're transmitting spirits because energy is transmittable. And women tend to get caught up in the emotional point of everything opposed to the logic. What can this man make me a better woman? What is it that this man have of tangibles that he may make me what God intend for me to be? Don't you know, wherever there's a great man, because there's a great woman, and wherever there's a great woman, there's a great man. See, when you start to lust and like things that have no substance at all, you fall victim to the emotional state of mind. Because you've been hurting all your life because of relationships you have been in, and you have become a victim of abuse, a victim of every emotional, stressful situation, towards when a man comes into your life and he makes you feel good, you think it's the right man. See, let me tell you something, sister. Experience is the first teacher. Observation is the second teacher. When you go through something, you experience, and then you observe what you're looking at so you can identify it once it comes back into your midst. For some reason, you tend to throw away all the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that God has given you through experience. And then you fall victim emotionally to what you fell victim to before. Why is it easier for a man to get over a woman emotionally? Because when a man, we watch it all too. When a man invests in a woman, a man investment is observation. Did you hear what I just said? A man's investment is not the emotion off the rip. It's the observation. We're watching you. We're looking at conduct. We're looking at character. We're looking at morals. We're looking at values. We're looking at how you handle uncomfortable situations. Can you stand the pain? Can you stand a degree of trial and tribulation? Do you bail out? Do you become unraveled? Are you strong mentally? Are you an emotional tyrant that's always yelling, always screaming, always arguing, always crying, always emotion? A man can't build off that. So we invest when we meet a woman, our investment is observation. While you completely invest your emotion in it, you have to earn our emotion, meaning our love for you. I'm telling you straight up, sister, you have to earn that. We're not going to just give you that. Excuse me. You could be the most sweetest individual to this man. You could be the most, pardon me, consistency is the key to success. Consistency is the key to success. You could cook for this man. You can cultivate this man. You could bring him into your home. You could do all those things, but you have to understand, woman, you also have to identify what you're dealing with, or you will fall victim to a no good ass man and then charge every man with being that way. You have to stop that. You have to stop that. See, sometimes women tend to get dissatisfied in the relationship and look for things to make them feel good. So the woman steps out on the man thinking it feel good, looking for the feel good, thinking it's the right thing to do. When you don't have to subject yourself to that type of disrespect for yourself. All you have to do is identify who you're dealing with. And if it's not producing or bringing the same results, then you have to disassociate yourself from that. Because let me tell you why I say that. You're going to tell your friend that you have a man, but he's not this, he's not that. And then you're going to get emotionally involved in another situation while you have a man. That man thinks from a logical point of view. He's there. Men are always here to entertain women by nature. But if you're thinking that man is going to make you something significant, you're making a grave mistake, sister. You're making a grave mistake. Now, there are situations where you can meet a man and the man finds you very attractive in many ways. He finds you very attractive in the way you handle yourself. He finds you very attractive in your honesty. He finds you very attractive in your commitment to yourself, to love yourself, to stand on morals, values, and principles, although you have deviated from the relationship that you're in. Another man may look at that and you may tell that man your problems. And that man may be in your best interest to help you. So all situations are not bad once you find your initial relationship dissatisfied and you 100% dissatisfied and you're ready to leave it. Because us men do observe women and see the greatness and the beauty in women. And some of us want to assist and help just to make you better because the energy is transmittable and everything feel good. But at the end of the day, after the feeling goes away, you have to be bringing tangibles to the plate that a man may build with you. If that man is unable to build with you, you're not going to have a successful relationship with that man. This podcast is titled 304. Why is it easier for a man to get over a woman emotionally opposed to a woman getting over a man? A man invests very constructively. A woman invests very emotionally. Does a man fall out of love once he loses interest emotionally? Does a man fall out of love once he loses interest emotionally? Absolutely. I did a podcast on this before about love. A lot of men come from the streets and we become a product of our environment. So everything about us is security first. Security to protect our heart, to protect our mind, to protect our well-being. So when we open up to you and you begin to do things that is not in our best interest to bring other than love to us, we close back up on you real fast, very fast. Because streets have made us into a product of our environment. We watch for the police. We watch for niggas trying to rob us, niggas trying to do this, haters. We always on the swivel. So understand, when a man comes into a relationship, the man comes, and if you able to get that man to open up to you emotionally, do not deviate from cultivating that man with love, because the minute you come with something other than love, he'll lock up on you. And don't you know that a man can detach himself inside of a relationship while you in a relationship? Hey man, the man mind is powerful. We could be with you, hang out with you, have sex with you, but be mentally detached from you. So please, sister, conduct and character is very important. Conduct and character is very important. Investment. Everybody want a return on their investment in a relationship. But you also have to identify what you're dealing with once you make that investment. If you don't identify what you invested in, then you're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your life. You're going to lose your state of mind. So before you invest in anything, observe it. See what it's about. See what it brings to the table. See how it maneuvers. This is what you call courting. You have to be able to deal with things in its right perspective, right form. Sometimes women have sex with men and think you in a physical, drawn out relationship. No. Don't do that to yourself either. It's steps to everything in life. And some of y'all get emotionally attached because of sex, because of how he make you feel, that feel good again, that emotional state of mind again, without dealing in the logic and the truth. Did he tell you that y'all was in a relationship? Did y'all both commit to one another? Or is it you throwing yourself on him, saying this and saying that? See, when you do that, you actually run the man away. You got to be on the right page, the same page. And it's best for y'all to turn the page together, opposed for him to turn the page faster than you, or for her to turn the page faster than him. Being on the same page, which represents balance at all times. So in conclusion, and if you want to come on to this podcast, you can. It's easier for a man to get over a woman because a man don't initially invest his emotions in a woman for a protracted period of time. The man invests his observation first. He's watching you. He's looking at how you keep your house. Is your toilet clean? Do you floss your teeth? Do you brush it? Do you wash in your ears? He's watching you. He's watching how you talk, how you handle situations. His observation is like the streets on a swivel, watching how you move, your consistency, your word being your bond. When you try to act like a nigga, act like a man, and say you want a man, that man looking at you as, this ain't something I could take home to my mama. You the same as me. The unalike attracts, sister. All this tough behavior that you display, all this slang talk that you display is what the man sees in the streets, and he can identify it because he's from the streets. So when you bring that in a relationship, there's nothing that he sees in you of value. There's nothing valuable that he sees in you. Let me say that again. Value and valuable is two different meanings. I own a trucking business. I own a barbershop. I own a clothing line. I own property. That all has value. Because if you give me the right number, come across my desk, I sell it. But things that are valuable is not for sale. My key is not for sale. My principles, my morals, my integrity is not for sale. I'm going to stand on that. So black and so beautiful, I'm going to stand on that. It's not for sale. See, when you as a woman hold the tangibles, the solid tangibles together, that alone will make that man fall in love with you. You got to be different from what he sees. You have to be. So it's easier for a man to disassociate himself from you in a relationship or getting to know you to be in a relationship and still have you as a hookup or somebody just being cool with. Because a man invests with observation first, while a woman invests emotionally. Grave mistake. Grave mistake. Don't do that. Don't do that. And don't you woman, because you women got this bad. A man makes you feel a certain way emotionally. And then you will find yourself in a situation where the attachment is growing. And then you'll say, we're in a relationship. That man ain't told you in a relationship, because you will find him entertaining other women or liking other women's social media platforms. Wait a minute. Did you and that man discuss that you guys were in a committed relationship? Or is it you assuming because he made you feel good that you in a committed relationship? See, the verbalizations, the writing on the wall, it has to be a conversation that determines what you are opposed to what you want it to be. I'm going to say that again. A conversation has to determine what you are opposed to what you want it to be. Don't do that to yourself, sister. It's easy for a man to dislike you and still deal with you. If you acting like a nigga from the street, woman, he's not going to take it no further than what it is. And then you have situations, and what it is may be the friendship. You probably want more, and your behavior is not going to permit him because he's watching you. And a man seeks peace. A man seeks heaven. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that heaven lies at the footstep of a woman. You have to give the man peace. A man falls in love with a woman that brings peace. He finds himself obligated to you if you're able to bring peace. Because a man psychologically be going through so many emotional roller coasters and events in his world with his children and with his family and with the streets or with his business, and every life is fighting a fight you have no idea. Some people suffer from high blood pressure, thyroid issues, headaches, cancer, uh, you know, diabetes, and you guys don't even know about it. Nobody knows about it. Every life is suffering mentally from a baby daddy then cheated on me, mentally from my my baby daddy is doing this or he doing that, or I don't have no food in my house for my children. Every life is suffering. So woman, be a man's peace and he will bless you in return. It's an investment. Don't say you bring in peace and then want to be argumentative about everything. That ain't peace. You got to be able to learn. You got to be able to identify when you're causing dissatisfaction in the relationship. Because plenty of y'all always talking about he did this, he did that. You always could point out what a man is doing wrong, but can you ever point out when a man is dissatisfied with you? When do you point out when a man is dissatisfied with you? Because he's going to do you a certain way when you make him dissatisfied. I'll get to the man on another podcast. Don't worry about it. I got you, sisters. Because we some no good, treacherous, deceitful, wicked man acting other than ourselves and not righteous or fair at all. I get that, sister. I'll get on us shortly. I would like to say that at 36 years old, for me, at 36 years old, when I was 36 years old, I grew into what God intended for me to be in bringing truth at all times, whether you like it or not. Some people that I bring my truth to fall out with me. I done them wrong because I come with truth. Ain't that something? Hey, when I was running them streets, checking that cheddar like a food inspector, I should have just didn't tell you nothing, or I just should have just been what I was when I was in the street. But it also says, when I was a boy, I act like a boy, I talk like a boy, I walk like a boy, I act like a boy. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. I'm a grown ass man. I advocate nothing but balance, nothing but respect, nothing but treating you how I want to be treated, nothing but truth. Some things may not be your business, depending on what you ask me. However, I will never mislead, never deviate off of my morals, my values, and my principles ever. And a lot of people have me in their best interest. And it's only because I find myself to be what you identified, a good person. But I had to grow into this man. I wasn't always this man. I had to grow into him. And some of the men that something has to happen in order for men to grow in what God intended for them to be, as well as women have to grow into what God intended for them to be. Something has to happen. So in conclusion, dear family, I respect truth even when it hurts. This podcast is why is it easier for a man to fall out of love? Why is it easier for a man to get over a woman emotionally than it is for a woman to get over a man? The wisdom is, and I close, men deal with observation first for a protracted period of time. We're watching you. We're observing you. Everything about you. How you keep your house, how you keep your car, how you smell, how you talk to your mother, how you handle your kids. We're watching you. Do you floss your teeth? We watch that shit too, because we look at all in your teeth. When you go home, go look in your teeth. Go look what we watch, we looking at you. Smell up on your arms. Make sure your deodorant is up to par. Educate yourself, because when you educate yourself and you grab wisdom and knowledge and understanding, you apply it, and the man observes that, and you become so valuable that when he tries to deviate, he say, I'm making a grave mistake, because he know what he has. Men do recognize beautiful spirited women. We all do. We recognize your abilities. We recognize your cultivating ways, your spirit, and we admire all of it. Sometimes when men do certain things, it's never intentional. Sometimes it could be circumstantial. Always remember that. Sometimes things are not intentional. They could be just circumstantial circumstances that things prevent things from happening. So quit charging with man that man ain't this, man ain't that. Sometimes it's just circumstantial, baby. Not intentional. This conversation is to the women. Start investing in man with observation, like a man invests in you from an observation point of view. We never give you a part of us until we're fully how can I put it? Convinced, until we're fully convinced that you are in our best interest. Men are wounded. Black man, brown man, red man, we are wounded mentally, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. We are ruined. Environment stronger than the nature, trial and tribulation of life. Man has it so much more harder. I put it to you like this, sister. As hard as it is to raise your children by yourself, that mental capacity, that mental stress, that mental frustration and anger is always in the man and what he deal with on a daily basis on the street. So when you get this man, he's wounded. And then he been taught to disrespect the woman and not knowing how to handle a woman and not knowing how to do certain things for a woman. And sometimes these men be looking for their mama again too. So you open the door, not observing what you're dealing with, and you make a grave mistake. This podcast is only about women. I know about these no good ass men, so I get on them on another podcast. The sisters say women are wounded too. Absolutely. I've met women in my family. I've met people around the world that have been molested by their fathers or somebody in the family. That mother has been on drugs. I've met women without guidance and instructions from a man's perspective, so the streets taught them everything they know. I've met women that have been abused in every relationship they've been in, looking for love. I've met women that put all their eggs in one basket, hoping that the man that they love will be the father that they never had. I've met women that had to survive in the streets, hustling day and night with no one to have their back. I've met some troubled women in my times. But how do God work? God works through human beings. This is why Jesus said faith is dead without works. Every time something happened, you say, God got me. Every time something goes wrong, like a lot of us took the jab, and you said, I put it in God's hand. Faith is dead without works. See, you have to be able to recognize that this life that we live is real. The greatest trick that the devil has afflicted on the human family is who is devil and who is God. So every time we're going through a trial and error in our lives, we always look towards God and then do nothing to produce something different. Do you know that you can have all the faith in the world means nothing to God? You have to put in the work. You have to till the ground. You have to produce that which you want. So you have to understand how God works. Woman, when you're going through trial and tribulation in this life, you're going to pray on something. Oh, God, put me in a situation where I can make some money. Oh, God, put me in a situation where I can have a man that loves me. Oh, God, I've been through it all my life. Don't you know that God had to go through trial and error to become the knower of all things? So he doesn't give us a damn thing. And this is why he say faith is dead without works. You have to invest. He gave you the brain to think, the eyes to see, the hands and the arms to go to work. And then he put those around you that's have the wisdom, have the knowledge, have the understanding. So you will have a brother like me come and tell you, sister, stop eating like that. You say, well, God got me. I tell you what, if you go jump off that damn bridge, right? See won't gravity pull you down and kill you. I tell you another thing. Go run across 880, 580, 4, 5, any freeway in front of a car going 70,000, 70 miles, 100 miles per hour, and then you say, God save me. You can't be a foolish thinker. See, ignorant, they call them type of people ignorant because in the word ignorant, you have the word ignore. You ignoring all intelligence and wisdom on what to do and what not to do to sustain your life. You have to start. So you go through all these trials with these different men, looking for your father in that man to show you love. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for men to cultivate you, to provide for you, protect you, to nourish you. All that. So you say, I put it in God's hand. And don't you know that God worked through the people? So an individual such as myself with the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, whether you like what I represent or not, don't worry about the messenger. Just listen to the message, because God is going to use each and every one of us as a vessel to bring you out of the ruins or the condition that you're in that's totally destroyed by the lack of mother that wasn't there, the lack of father that wasn't there, the baby daddy that abused you, the man that afflicted so much pain on you, the cold nights and the horrible mornings. God is going to send a human being in the flesh. He don't send you nothing that unmaterial. He's going to send you a vessel that look like you. And that person is going to tell you how to bring your life out of the ruins. So if you meet your cousin P, I say don't eat that beef because it clogs arteries. That's where high blood pressure come from. I keep teaching y'all on get off all the meat because we're living in a crucial hour in this world. And y'all expecting things to come get better, but it's not. I'm teaching you and giving you a wisdom that I've studied for years that you apparently haven't studied, because the FDA just came out and said they have all, not some cancer, but all cancer is in chicken meat. Is you still eating chicken? Do you still consume chicken? Or are you still consuming beef? Don't you know you are what you eat? So when they inject the beef, when they inject the chicken with all this garbage and ingredients and foolishness, it becomes a part of your structure. It begins to alter your mind. That's why they say when you eat like a savage, you act like a savage. It's because the ingredients in this meat, in this food, is altering the chemical imbalance, but you know nothing about science, so you don't understand what I'm talking about. But this is how God works. He's going to send you someone to say, stop, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. See, we're living in a crucial hour. And this hour is separating the sheep, as the scriptures reveals, from the goat. See, the sheep is a submissive animal, while the goat is the rebellious, stiff-necked one. I ain't got nothing, that motherfucker. I ain't listening about it. God got me. God got you. Yeah, he got you. But if you want to be ignorant, he's going to allow you to wallow in your own vomit and keep you there to die. God ain't playing with you. You can't ask for help and the help come through a man or a woman to help you, and you keep saying, God got me, God got me. You remind me of the man in the boat, sister. Here's a man in the boat on the ocean, and a big storm is coming. And everybody's getting out of town. And he said, no, God got me. And the man, the helicopter come and say, you got to get out. The storm is killing everybody. No, God got me. And then another boat come by. God got me. And then the last boat come by and said, the storm's wiping everybody. God said he was going to save you because you prayed, and he said he will hold you. And so the storm comes and wipes you off the boat, kills you, and then you praying to God, you talking to God, talking about, God, I thought you said you was gonna save me. He said, I sent you that boat. I sent you that helicopter. I sent you them people. See, the blessing is always through God's people. Quit looking in the sky, because out the contraption of the planet is no oxygen. You can't even breathe out there. You got to, as it is in the heavens, so shall it be on the earth. You live a spooky life and you don't live in reality. So, sisters, if you've been abused, if you've been, if so much pain has been afflicted upon you, and you don't have direction and you don't know which way to go, listen. If you spiritually in tune, you will hear the call from God. Don't do that. Do this. Handle this. And it's going to come through a man or a woman to you. So if you continue to make the same mistakes, God is going to allow you to vomit in your own, wallow in your own vomit. So a lot of us been wounded. I've never smoked a drink in my entire life. That shit ain't never interest me. Never. And anybody that knows Cousin P, I'm so much put a damn cigarette to my mouth ever in the history of my 40 plus years on this planet. It ain't never interested me. You know what interests me? My mama was on drugs for a long period of time. My father was a hustler for a lot of period of time. My mother subjected me. I seen the condition of my mother. I seen the condition of my family and my peoples, and I have a huge family. So it made me a bona fide hustler. It made me a bona fide hustler. So all I gave a damn was about stability. But I needed guidance with that understanding of stability. I needed balance with that understanding of stability, because I always needed 2 and 3 of everything to sustain me. I had 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7 women at one time. I had 2 and 3, 4, 5 cars at the same time. I had 2 or 3 houses, apartments at the same time. That was me, my mental health issues of being, not having, as a young dude, going to school, E. Morris Cox and East Oakland on LeConte in Berkeley with dirty socks on, and mama wouldn't wash our clothes, and she used to hide us from everybody because she was ashamed herself because a man turned her out. And so we felt that pain. I felt it. I said, oh no, I can't live like this when I get of age. So I started at a young age pumping gas, hustling. 7, 8 years old. Me and all my cousins, all my friends, man, we finna go pump some gas and get some money to feed us tonight. Or we going to jump the A's game, jump over the fence at the A's game, break into the lockers and steal. Man, we was going through it at 8, 9. At 10, 11, guess what Cousin P was? I was on the block. Can you imagine a 5th grader? I be looking at my daughter now. My daughter just turned 14. I'm looking at her little bitty self. I say, God damn, when I was her age, the things I was doing. She's so far removed from what I was. But all that trial, all that dysfunctional behavior, all that growed me when I got a hold to a man and a woman that whispered in my ear. That was God talking. Bring balance and structure to what you're doing. And then when I hustled in the streets, I left my mama house in 11th grade. They kicked me out of all Berkeley unified schools. I had to go to East Oakland schools. That's why, and I lived in East Oakland, back and forth from East Oakland to Berkeley. I went to Castlemont for 4 years. Don't you know when I was in the 10th grade going to Castlemont, I had a 2-bedroom apartment in West Oakland. All I gave a damn about was stability. Having, in case one girlfriend fall off, I had another. In case I had one bank account, I got another. I was maneuvering that behavior until I got about 36 years old. I'm going to tell you something, man. So don't allow what it was yesterday to define what you could be today. I say, you know what? I got to start treating people how I want to be treated. I got to put things in perspective. I got to have balance and tangibles and make people see me in a different light. And so what I did was I started honoring women more, treating them how I want to be treated, speaking straight truth, accept it or let it alone. Putting things in balance in terms of having one thing at one time. Well, when it came to, I still own property. I got two of those. In case some jump off, some transpire. But I still have that ability in me from a young buck to make sure that I sustain my life. I always invested in wisdom, always invested in knowledge, how to eat better. So I'm teaching you what causes high blood pressure, what is high blood pressure, what is cancer, why is it cysts on ovaries, why is all these hysterectomies. I've studied this and my father gave me a lot of wisdom. So, sister, in conclusion, because I've been going too damn long and I'm finna get up out of here because I'm gonna go kick back with my family members. I'm saying this to say that we have all been through trial and error. Don't let your yesterday news define your today's events. Don't do that to yourself. The way Cousin Pete carry yourself, you're going to see morals, you're going to see value, and you're going to see principles. Those three things you're going to see about me. Anybody that meets me or knows me or my family. I'm strict, but I'm firm. I got so much discipline in me that it scares me sometimes because I like, damn, I would have went for the promiscuous P back in the days. Having multiple women. People meet me now and think that, I deal with a lot of women. I ain't in no position to deal with a lot of women. I don't do that. I have friendships in all walks of life, and every friend that I have, every partner that I have, knows what I speak is truth and what I stand on, whatever that relationship may be. I keep my word, my damn bond. Period. I don't deviate. But I had to grow into that. Because I wouldn't tell a woman nothing. It wasn't none of her goddamn business what I was doing. But nevertheless, when you see a great man or whatever you may see in me is because a great woman made me this way. And whenever I see a great woman, I know a great man made you that way. It represents balance. I'm not standing here on my own. No, I'll be lying to you. I'm not standing here on my own. God has blessed me with beautiful people and a powerful individual to help guide whatever he intends for me to do on this planet. This is why I represent so black and so beautiful. So black and so beautiful. This was given to me in a vision nearly 20 years ago. If you ever bought some product from me, SoBlackandSoBeautiful.com, you get a brochure, and the brochure teaches you my vision-like experience. I did a song called So Black and So Beautiful 20 years ago, along when I was signed to Bomb Shelter No Limit with Snoop Dogg, and he kept saying, "Cousin P, you got a hit. Cousin P, you got a hit." I didn't give a damn about the hit. I was in them streets checking cheddar like a food inspector. Hey, the streets talk. Niggas gonna tell you the truth about me. From Berkeley, all of Berkeley, East Oakland, West Oakland, Vallejo, nothing but love. Ain't no smut on my name. And I was feeding everybody. But my point is, I was so confined to that mentality in the streets. My purpose, I didn't step into my purpose. I'm stepping into my purpose now. God intended purpose. He's calling for unity. See, those four hands represent the four families on our planet that have been abused by a taskmaster. It also represents the 400 years in bondage. See, it's all meaning over there. And this is why I advocate so black and so beautiful. And I'm standing on that because my mission just begun at close to 40 years old. And I intend to carry it out. So don't be angry with your cousin P. Be delightful that you see a black man growing into what God intended for him to be. I may have flaws and I'm not perfect, but I guarantee you I'm solid. What defines solid? What defines solid is me submitting my will to stand on the principles that God has given to me through the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'm not deviating off of none of that. You could take it or let it alone. My kids even know I ain't deviating off of none of it. So with that said, sisters, I want to appreciate y'all for listening to your cousin P. I know it's been a long time, but definitely the reason why a man is able to get over a woman easier emotionally because the man invests his observation first. He's watching, not for 2 weeks, not for 2 months, maybe a year or better. And then when you have passed his test, which is a grown man, and there's some boys out here too, just like there's some women and there's some girls. When you have passed the test of approval, that man will love you unconditionally. Notice that I say man, I didn't say boy, man. I went to go see T.I. tonight, man. T.I. pretty dope, man. You know, his stand-up is magnificent. He did a hell of a job, and he said some things. He said a relationship isn't the great days. He said the relationship determine all the bad days and you still together. So when we go through these relationships, friendships, or you go through with your trial and error, if you could get through all the bad shit, you in the best position in the world because those those imperfections, those emotional distressed it's quick to say I don't want to deal with you emotionally when you're angry. But when you're able to go through the trial and error of what this man may have done to you or what this woman may have done to you, and you withhold and withstand the weather and the pressure, didn't the scripture reveals that what shapes a diamond? The hottest degree on our planet is what molds and shapes a diamond. So you just going through the trial of heat. Don't give up. Don't be foolish. See, you have to be spiritually inclined to understand the reality of this life and stop waiting for God to do something and do for self. If anybody got anything to say, I'll give y'all 5 minutes if you want to come on. Wow, you are man to uplift the people, uplift the vibration on this planet who thought 20 years, man, and you will be now. All praises due to God. All praises. I appreciate that love, sweetie. Anybody want to come on? Let me know right now, and I'm gonna bring you on. Anybody want to come on? Family member Justin, how you feeling, man? My cousin, how you feeling? Lou White. Anybody want to come on? D, you want to come on? Anybody want to come on? I'm giving you 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I'm at the palace in my office, man. I'm just, sitting, chilling. I'm gonna get up out of here, though. I'm gonna get up out of here, though. Hey, any questions? Nobody have any questions? Anybody want to come on? Let me see. Powerful. Powerful conversation from God. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I want to salute every sister out there. I would just want to give you some information on how to understand, a man's perspective. And the man's perspective is this. The man's perspective is this. It's easier for him because he don't invest a feeling. He don't invest the feeling. It's what you invest in him and pour into him that opens him up. I will get on the man later and what the man's supposed to do. Don't worry about that now. I'm telling you what to do from a man's perspective. And who's best qualified to talk about a woman? Talk about a man. I believe that I'm qualified. Trust me when I tell you that. Now, the man invests and the woman invests. What are you investing? I will be back. I will be notified next time you come and take. Peace. I appreciate that. Y'all go get that Fall of America album on all streaming platforms right now. Go to SoBlackandSoBeautiful.com and purchase you some apparel. I sell a lot of this apparel down south. I don't know what y'all thinking. Man, shout out to my driver, man. Driving SBSB Transportation LLC, man. He handling his business. He handling his business, and I definitely appreciate him, man. You know what I'm saying? The man, there's people in this world that want you to win, and people that will. The difference between a person is a person wanting you to win and a person helping you to win. It's a lot of people that want me to win. There's a lot of people that want me to win, but ain't damn one helping me to win. I identify who helping me win. And when I bought my rigs and when I bought my box truck and I called my driver and we sat down at the table and we worked out numbers and my truck's making money. But then when I looked at the business perspective, I said, damn, I'm paying a brother out of, shout out to Jen. Because Jen gave me a lot of information, man. Jen, shout out to you. I sat down at the table with him this morning and said, look, man, I've been paying you 30% of my gross opposed to 30% of my net. And, I want to pay the business first in terms of, to run the truck, just to run one truck costs damn near $9,000 a month just to run one truck. And I said, I'm paying you out of the gross. I got to pay you out of the net. He said, brother, I'm with you, whatever we need to do to get this business up and running. And I said, yes, sir. So I'm going to send you some paperwork. We're going to agree to that. I'm going to agree to these numbers. And he said, man, I'm here to help us win. And I said, I salute you, dear family. See, it's a difference between somebody helping you, wanting you to win, and somebody helping you to win. Because what I did was I put an extra 4,000, maybe 5,000 back into the pot to be able to grow the business opposed to letting it go out. Salute to my family member. I see y'all in a minute. Your cousin, Cut and P. Peace.